Good evening, USFL fans and GMs of the 20-team Premier USFL Fantasy Football League. Here we go with previews for Week 9. We're going to start with the Central Division. We've got divisional matchups this week. Central Division, Panthers versus the Gamblers. Panthers go on the road to the Gamblers, favored by 2 points, 24-22. The Gamblers are definitely in the spoiler category, being one of the bottom 4 teams in the 20-team league at this time. They can always move out of the spoiler category if they have the wins under their belt. But the Gamblers are looking to play the spoiler here in this one at home versus the Panthers. Panthers favored by 2. We'll see what happens there. And then the Outlaws and the Blitz, another game in the Central Division. Oklahoma goes to Chicago. Chicago's looking for its 3rd win in a row. The Outlaws, starting out 6-0, have lost their last 2. Could this be a 3rd loss for them? The Blitz are favored in this game by 0.7 points. It's going to be a good one to watch. Contenders, spoilers, what is the Gamblers and the Blitz going to be after this week? I don't know, but the Central Division is really going to get tight if there are upsets here. And then the Gunslingers, the other team out of the Central Division, play an out-of-divisional matchup against the Breakers. The Breakers had lost their previous 2, one last week in that big game over the Express to go to 5-3. The Gunslingers are favored in this by 0.6 points over the Breakers. Anybody's game. Gunslingers, Jake Matthews on a 4-game skid. I tell you what, if we have these upsets to occur and the Gunslingers were to beat the Breakers, or the Breakers were to beat the Gunslingers, it doesn't matter. The Central Division really would tighten up with all of that, and then it would be anybody's matchup. Even the Gamblers with a win and an upset, where if the Blitz were to upset Oklahoma, the Gamblers would even just be 3 games out with, I believe, 6 games to go. So things could be really exciting in the Central Division going forward. We mentioned the Breakers and the Gunslingers there. In the Pacific, the 2 teams, the 2 games matchups that are divisional matchups is LA versus the Gold. LA's probably got this game. The Express, good strong team, best 3-5 team out there, or 4-4 team out there. Gold has its troubles. 27-20 is the projection. I'm going to go with the Express in that one. And then the Wranglers and Invaders, what could possibly be the game of the week. 6-2 Wranglers. Kevin Perillou's put it together. Champions, divisional champions 5 times now out in the Pacific in our 9th season now. The Invaders, 7-1, get a home game and are favored by 2 points over the Wranglers. So again, if we look at this division, the Pacific Division, if you've got LA that's going to lock up a win over the Gold, which they should, and then the Wranglers, if somehow the Wranglers can upset the Invaders, and then Portland, got that big game with the Gunslingers, this division as well could tighten up greatly. So a lot to watch this week in the Central and in the Pacific, as those divisions could spread or they could tighten up a lot. And then going to the Atlantic Division, the Maulers play the Generals. The Generals, of course, Stacy Checo's team, 7-1, looked unbeatable until last week, and they lost to the 0-7 Spirit. Well, they get another game this week where they have a 2-point favorite at home. Devontae Adams, if he plays, I got to give the win to the Generals here. He's still not cleared completely yet. He does have some points behind him for the Generals. Mahler is going to come to play. John lines them up, puts the right people in the lineup usually every week. And so, anything can happen there. The Maulers are 4-4. If the Maulers could upset the Generals here, the Maulers would, of course, go to 5-4. The Generals would go to 7-2. And then that would be a 2-game difference in the division, where right now it's a 3-game. Of course, if they win over the Maulers, they'll have a 4-point advantage. That's going to be hard to match. And then the Federals play the Stars. Federals are favored by 2 points. All these games are close. Federals are 4-4. Lost a tough game last week to the Maulers. when they were 4-3. They could have gone to 5-3 and gotten a little closer to the Generals with the Generals lost, but they did not last week. And the Federals are 4-4, playing the Stars 3-5. Michael Anzalotti's team versus Paul Thompson. If the Feds win this, they'd go to 5-4. If the Maulers somehow would win, beat the Generals and go to 5-4, and the Generals go to 7-2, there you go. The Atlantic Division could tighten up too. Don't think that's going to happen. I think Devontae Adams is going to play for the Generals. I think the Generals are going to probably take down the Maulers. We'll see what happens there. It's just another game to watch. And then the Federals and the Stars, Michael Anzalotti's Stars could get back in this thing with a win. Get at least in the mid-range for a top-tier playoff spot. And then the Spirit play the Bulls in an out-of-division game. Spirit are 1-7. Bulls are 2-6. This is the dog game of the week, but it's worth a watch. Spirit are favored by 2 points. And then in the South, the Boats play the Stallions. Go to the Stallions. James Hayes Boats are 5-3. Stallions are 3-5. This is a 1-point game, guys. This is a good game to watch. The Showboats need a win to stay close to Orlando in the South. The Stallions need a win to have any shot of reaching a divisional title at all. This is a make-or-break game for the Stallions when it comes to the divisional title. Of course, most teams are still in it right now for that 8th spot in our top-tier playoff. And then Tampa and Orlando, Tampa has been in disarray all year, but I know Terry Harness is going to put something together. McCafferty's got a lot of points behind him, even though he's still got an R in front of his name. McCafferty plays, they'll have a shot in Orlando versus the 6-2 Orlando Renegades, Michael Rodriguez's team. It's kind of funny. Michael Rodriguez has a lot of Green Bay weighted players, and without Aaron Rodgers, who knows how everyone is going to perform. Tampa at Orlando. Orlando is favored in this game heavily. It's one to watch. If Orlando were to somehow, Tampa were somehow to take Orlando down, then the South gets a little tighter too. So very important week. Everyone enjoy the games. You can always go to our league by clicking the ESPN standings and things that I put in the comments. If you just click that, it should take you right to the league. You may have to have a login, but if we are a public league, and you can go in there and look at standings and whatever you want to look at. But guys, line them up. Let's have a great week. Enjoy Thursday Night Football to kick off the week.